Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am the Grand Cat and today we have a brand new Battle Pass. We've got some new ECW cards. We're going to be taking a look at them. And if you want my honest opinion, I'm not thoroughly impressed. But let's get into that. So of course the Battle Pass event card, the special event card, is going to be Brian Pillman, Flying Brian Pillman. And you can see this is him in his kind of madness type, the version that pulled a gun on Stone Cold Steve Austin on live television that got WWF into a lot of trouble. So it's cool to see that version of him, but there's only 15 days and 22 hours to actually get the Pro, which is like less than what we normally get, and also the rewards won't last for as long. You get this old school image of him as the Flying Brian Pillman. It's not quite when he was part of the... what were they called? They weren't the Varsity Blondes, that was his son. Was it the Varsity Blondes? The Hollywood Blondes, yes. I think Hollywood Blondes was Stone Cold Steve Austin and Brian Pillman as tag team champions. Not quite as far back as that, but around that kind of era before he really got his gimmick of, you know, being insane. And honestly, I'm not that impressed with it. The ECW sleeves, they're fairly generic ECW. You get this the Sandman attitude that I didn't think was that impressive, if I'm honest. You get the Brian Pillman attitude as well. And I think if you're a hardcore ECW fan, this is, you know, a good thing for you. Also, you can tell that the character isn't animated. The background's going to have some cool animation once you get the Pro of him, but it looks like this image can be swapped out with any of the other Brian Pillman images. Now, we have had Brian Pillman before, but it was a long, long time ago, and I don't have them, which means there probably isn't that many people that have them, but it's an ultra rare from Season 1, Season 2. Let's take a quick look at them. Of course, I don't actually have them, so we're just looking at the card. But there you can see they were the throwback cards, and to get the throwback cards in Season 1 Season 2, those were the kind of things you had to pay money to get. Maybe something will come out that will give you access to them, like an ECW pack or whatever. So, not that impressed, if I'm honest. There's also a new Daily Streak art that's up right now, and if you log in for all 5 days in the Daily Streak, you'll get a random Noir to Enigma card. I have largely just been getting garbage from these Daily Streaks, but some people have been lucky enough to pull an Enigma card, so it's worth mentioning. So, let's take a look here. So, this one here, the Crossing the Line, when I first looked at it, I got really excited because I was thinking, oh, cool, it's 3,000 credits, and you get a guaranteed special edition card. And then I was looking at the information, I was like, why is it Cactus Jack and Terry Funk only have a 3%, where Sensational Sherry and the Sandman have a 47% each? And then I realised that Sandman is a WrestleMania 40 card and has WrestleMania 40 stats, as does Sensational Sherry, whereas Terry Funk is Enigma, as is Cactus Jack. So you see the stats are like significantly different here. It's round about 900 across the board with 1,000 in toughness, whereas Sandman here, he is around about 700 with 800 in toughness, which unfortunately isn't going to hold up. Although the background is the same, the difference here is the little bit up the top corner that says Enigma. Also, when I think of ECW, these are not the people that I think of ECW. I think of the Dudleys, Rob Van Dam, Sandman, Sabu, these kinds. But, I mean, Cactus Jack and... I mean, Terry Funk was around for a good long while, in fairness. Cactus Jack was only around, sort of, not the beginning of ECW, but around a kind of midpoint of ECW. And then he went to WWF, I think, in 98. He became Mankind, and then he became Dude Love, and then he brought Cactus Jack back. Sandman is definitely an ECW guy. I mean, I can get that. Sensational Sherry, I don't really associate with ECW either. She was an amazing manager. She was an amazing wrestler. Sensational Sherry was really sort of like the first Rhea Ripley, where she could change her gimmick to go with whoever she was managing, and I think if she had been around in modern era, she would be one of the greats because she's amazing. There's an amazing, what is the documentary called? Dark Side of the Ring on Sensational Sherry. Absolutely worth checking out. It's really, really good for showing you Sensational Sherry's life. But again, I don't really associate Sensational Sherry with ECW. Cactus Jack keeps getting thrown in here. We had the Cactus Jack ECW Battle Pass card a couple of seasons ago, and I think it was Myth tier, if memory serves right. Honestly, I'm just kind of underwhelmed by these. Also, it's another up arrow for Terry Funk, and I don't know about you guys, but I don't really need up arrows because we've got, in terms of up arrows, I'll just go to them. I've got, my Macho Man Randy Savage. We've got the double heroic fortified 1 Tamatonga. We've got 2 of them, and I've got a fortified 3 Jimmy Uso. I've got a fortified 1 Montez Ford. There's the Triple H Battle Pass. There's the Rob Van Dam. In terms of up arrows, like, we've got a lot of up arrows, and then Cactus Jack is right arrow, and the Randy Orton event card is currently going. There's the Jey Uso Battle Pass that we just had. There's the double heroic Jey Uso. There's, well, that Randy Orton is just one that I got myself, but also this here Battle Pass for Brian Pillman is also a right arrow. So we've got an abundance of up and right arrows, but not so much left and down arrows. And I think it's a bit of a rip-off that the only female in this is the tier beforehand. It's WrestleMania 40 tier, and also the percentages that you only have a 3% chance of getting one of the Enigma cards, well, a 6% chance in total, but you've got a 94% chance of getting Sensational Sherry or Sandman, and I don't know why they weren't all just made Enigma, so that they could be, up to scratch, up to tier, instead of, you get this brand new Sandman, you get this brand new Sensational Sherry, and they're already not good enough to go with the rest of your Enigma pros. So, I'm not sure what's going on there. And for 250 ECW tokens, you can get a guaranteed either Cactus Jack or Terry Funk, and I believe it doesn't show you the information here, but I assume it's just 50-50. And the thing is, these don't have the same stats that your Randy Savage has. You can see there that these stats, they're 12, 12, 14, 1500, and you can see that these guys, 900, 1000, 800, 890, you do need 2 of them to get a pro. So even if you are lucky enough to pull a Terry Funk, and then you save up 250 coins, and then you click this, you could get the Cactus Jack, and you could be stuck with 2 singles, as opposed to a pro that can actually help you out. I think the Randy Savage thing was a much, much better deal. So I'm not sure how I really amn't feeling the Battle Pass or the SE card. I think if there was a quest in here, that gave you a Cactus Jack or a Terry Funk, maybe it would be a bit more incentive to try and go after them. I mean, I'm sure that there's people that's going to be playing Tag Team Takedown, and they're going to be grinding this to try and get all 5 of these, and it's going to give them some wonderful pros. You'll get, because I'm pretty sure that a pro of these will be, it'll be significantly better than your regular pros, of course. I don't know if it'll be better than a Fortified 3 or not, but it shouldn't be quite as strong as what the Battle Pass card is, and the Battle Pass card won't be as strong as the double heroic Randy Orton or the double heroic Tama Tonga, which of course are the first two events that we've had for Enigma. So in terms of the arrows, it's not that good. See, if all four of these had all been Enigma cards, I would have paid this 3,000 5 times. But even with the amount of credits that I've got here, I'm not wasting my credits on this. I just don't think it's good enough for a 6% chance of getting an Enigma card. There's the build a pack, and I don't really know how it works. And it says there's the draft board. It can contain, these guys. But I mean, you could also just get other stuff in here as well. I mean, you could get like 10 draft picks, 50 credits. 200 credits is fine, but not when you're paying 1,600 credits. And then there's spinner guarantees rewards of one of these. That either gives you a ×2 multiplier, 10,000 super coins, 500 credits, or 10,000 credits even. Which, I mean, if you get that, then you've certainly made your money back. But I mean, you can also just get WrestleMania 40 cards, rare draft picks. It doesn't guarantee you the things that you're after, which I don't know. I'm everything about it is like, this doesn't seem amazing to me. See, if there was only one Enigma card, if it was only Cactus Jack or Terry Funk, I think it would be better, because then at least you could get a guaranteed, you could pay 250 credits and you could get, a guaranteed Terry Funk, and then you could try and pull another Terry Funk. But because it's a 50-50 chance between Terry Funk and Cactus Jack, that makes it so much worse, especially when we've just had the Randy Savage. And also the Randy Savage was 200 to get a Randy Savage. This is 250 to get what is essentially half a Terry Funk or a Cactus Jack, because you'll need two of them if you want the Pro, if you want that to be on the same level as that Randy Savage. And also I think the limited edition Randy Savage is actually going to be stronger than what the Pro Terry Funk or the Pro Cactus Jack is going to be as well. I'm also not thoroughly impressed with the Battle Pass Brian Pillman. Brian Pillman isn't one that I was really shouting for, really looking for, but the next Battle Pass that happens in 16 days is Paul E. Dangerously himself, the big old Paul Heyman, and that to me sounds like a much more interesting Battle Pass than Brian Pillman. I think because we've had a Battle Pass Cactus Jack before, they didn't really want to do that. Maybe they didn't think Terry Funk was sufficient, so they went for Brian Pillman. But I would have loved a Battle Pass Sandman. If it had been Sandman, I'd have probably went for it. Or even a Battle Pass Rob Van Dam, or maybe even if there was a Battle Pass that contained both Dudleys, Bubba Ray and Devon, that would be very cool. There's certainly more ECW names up there. I just can't think of them. And of course, I'm talking about the old school ECW. I'm not talking about WWE ECW, where, it had some good points. It had, like CM Punk in there and such, but it really wasn't quite the same as, the original. Tommy Dreamer, where's Tommy Dreamer? The more I'm thinking about ECW, the more I'm thinking like, there was other big, huge names in there. Yeah. Sabu as well. I've mentioned Sabu before, but he would be a very cool card to have, There's a whole bunch of ECW alumni, and I think the reason they're doing the ECW stuff is because in W2K24, we just got the DLC for the CM Punk and the ECW pack, where you unlock those characters in the game. It's the first time we've had CM Punk for a little while, so it's very cool to see that in there. And of course you get a bunch of the ECW characters unlocked in your W2K game as well. And of course the reason why they did the Macho King Randy Savage is because it was to coincide with the King of the Ring, of course. Let's take a look at our Superstore. I don't think there's anything in here. So we still have Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair for the next 16 days and 22 hours. And of course, once that passes, we should hopefully have some Clash of the Castle cards. And I would think it would be very, very cool to get some Enigma Drew McIntyre. especially if he wins the championship, which, as I'm going to be live at Clash at the Castle, I'm going to be there in the audience. I would very much enjoy seeing my hometown hero, Drew McIntyre, win the world title. That would be very, very cool. But let's wrap this video up. Of course, you saw that I only got 132 of the match coins, didn't get all 200. So we're just going to use 125 here to get a guaranteed Enigma card. And we got a Solo Score, which is very cool. This is new. Lock that one down. It's got half the bloodline now. We've got 7 more left, so we might as well claim them. We will take 25 draft picks, and then we will just use the rest on getting super coins. Because if you don't use them, they just disappear, so you might as well use them. And of course, you cannot get any more Macho coins. Unfortunately, that's them. They're all done. The reason it gives you this additional 24 hours is just so you've got a full day to claim your rewards. That's what that is about. So, let me know what you guys think of the ECW stuff. Are you getting the Battle Pass? Are you going to give this Battle Pass a miss? I think I might give this one a miss. Because it's only 16 days to complete it, which is not an awful lot of time. It's like a week less than what you normally get. And I'm not that thrilled about Brian Pillman. It's a very cool looking card, but unless you're like a big fan of Brian Pillman or the ECW days, I'm not entirely impressed with it, I would say. I think they went about it all wrong. I think if all four of these had all been Enigma, so that we get, an Enigma event, Sensational Sherry, that would be very cool. It's got an event, Sandman, that would be very cool. I think if they'd all been Enigma, that would have been cool. Or if there was only one of them that was Enigma, like a special one, like a Cactus Jack, or just Terry Funk by himself, that would also be cool. Because then, you could use the collectibles, and then you'd know that you'd be guaranteed to get the one that you're looking for. It wouldn't be a 50-50 chance as to which one you get. I think that would have been nicer, rather than the way they've went around it. I think they've released too many here. I think it's a bit of a con that Sensational Sherry and Sandman have the exact same background as what Terry Funk and Cactus Jack do. They've just lowered the stats on them. And I can't think of a point where we've had previous tier special editions like this. I mean, with the exception of like summer cards and Halloween cards and things, where they always do like multiple different tiers all at once. But I think this is, and also, I mean, the pull rates that you pay 3,000 credits and you've only got a 6% chance of getting one of these two. That seems like a lot, And the thing is, unfortunately, I don't think Sandman's stats really kind of match up to, I mean, if we just take a look at these, I mean, there you can see it's basically 800 across the board with the exception of Charisma. I mean, speed is almost 800. Toughness is 750, power is 850. Those both kind of match out, and then like the WrestleMania cards, they just don't match up, unfortunately. It just doesn't seem good enough. Whereas of course these ones, that does make a significant difference, and you can see that those are stronger than regular Enigma cards. But getting a pro of them, a little bit difficult. I don't think we've got enough time to get the Battle Pass. I'm not even sure I'm particularly, I'm not a huge, gigantic fan of Brian Pillman either, so I'm not incentivized to buy it, and it's, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I always love hearing the comment section from the Grand Cat Grand Fleet. Let me know if you guys are impressed with the ECW stuff. I'm a huge big fan of ECW, the old school ECW, but this stuff just doesn't make me want to spend credits, and I want to know how you guys feel as well. But that is going to be it for this little video, folks. I really hope that you all enjoyed, and if you did enjoy it, please give me a like, share, and subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure you click that notification icon so you can see when more of these glorious little videos go out. And we shall see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.